There's our protagonist lying on the ground, beaten and desperate. And to think, it all started when he was hit by a creature that was supposed to be just a line of code. It was at that moment that the 17th year of his life was about to end. Or at least that's what he thought was going to happen. We go back 3 months earlier near a burning volcano. Down there are 2 people facing a dragon, which comes charging toward the human with the shield. The blonde guy shouts, saying there's a strong attack coming, and tells Naoki be careful. The monster comes to smack the shield man. Man, I thought the kid was going to hold out a little, but the shield got destroyed, blown into the wall with his HP dropping straight to 1. The system says that super resistance was activated and there are still 46 remaining. And Naoki, lying on the ground, says that this thing always makes his heart race. Then the blonde guy charges in, thanking Naoki, saying he created the perfect opening. He swings a slash with his sword and the dragon dissolves, turning into something kind of digital. With that, the blonde guy levels up to level 20 and says that finally the conditions for class change have arrived. The blonde guy's name is Hiro Ri, and he's a level 20 warrior. Naoki says he can't keep using his older brother as a tanker like that. Even though it was a game, dropping to 1 HP every time was scary. Then he gets up, saying that's enough leveling for today because he has to go to work. His brother's making a face, but he knows he doesn't have a choice. So Naoki says goodbye, saying that tomorrow he'll help him level up again. He believes that one day his brother will be number 1 at the top. The blonde guy thanks him, saying that if that ever happens, he'll help our boy be number 1 too, and they'll both be at the top. But suddenly, the scene switches to the guy lying in a hospital bed, wearing VR goggles. On TV, it says that today experts were invited to discuss this problem, an incident in the popular game known as Genesis Chronicles Online. Be it in Tokyo, Paris, or even in Rio de Janeiro, man. That day marked 1 month since the accident had started. The news station wants to know what the cause is and what possible solutions there are. An old man says that this accident seems like an act of terrorism caused by the developers. Players are being taken hostage. Since the incident started, you can't log out, and whoever takes damage in the game feels pain in real life. And if their HP reaches 0 in the game, they also die in the hospital. Man, it's been a while since we've seen a good sword art online style story, huh? What's this? A classic in the making. Obviously, the problem's being caused by this virtual reality headset, and people also die if they try to remove it. In front of the hospital room, the protagonist is there with clenched fists, saying it's all his fault. That's because he was the one who gave the virtual reality headset to his younger brother for his birthday. And the old man on TV says that they have no solution whatsoever, so whoever's watching should warn everyone not to log into this game under any circumstance. But back at his house, a protagonist is about to do just that, right? He knows that if he enters the game, there's a big chance he might die. But just like he always played with Hiroki every day, he knows that his little brother is trapped in there now. Even though his character looked like an adult in the game, obviously he was just a 12-year-old kid. And if he left him there alone and he died, he would never forgive himself. So he puts the VR headset on and says he's going to save him. In the present, screams echo through the forest. A chubby bunny girl and a tan human are running desperately. The poor guy, though, he trips over a rock and faceplants into the ground. Even his body in the hospital twitched a bit. He gets up all trembling, crying, saying he doesn't want to die like this. But when he looks back, something brushes right past his temple. Ah man, look at my vocabulary using temple. What's this, huh? Getting all scholarly? And from a distance, you can see it was a giant wolf that licked him. Up on the branches, there were countless others. And the chubby bunny girl is there trembling all over, desperate and crying, saying she doesn't want to die like this. Game over in the game, game over in the hospital, man. The beeping stopped. And now it's the girl's turn, who knows there's no way to escape, when suddenly 3 of the wolves leap at her. But from far away, there's a Chad arriving with his shield in hand, man. Right at the moment she was about to die, he steps in front and tanks the first wolf. Well, maybe tank is his strong word, because he got thrown along with Minnie, both tossed far away. His super resistance of 9,999 uses activated, and with that, he dropped to exactly 1 HP. He was beaten and almost dead, which is a lot better than 100% dead, right? He asks if the girl is okay, and she thanks him, but tells him to worry about his own health bar. But he says it's all good, it's just a skill he has. This was a talent exclusive to his class. When he had 70% or more HP and received a fatal attack, he would instead drop to 1 HP. Obviously, considering that if his HP hit 0, he dies for real, it was terrifying. He drinks a potion, saying he'll never get used to this realistic pain. The problem now is that our boy created this account just to play with his brother and help him level up. In other words, he's at an extremely low level, unlike many other players. And not to mention that Hiroki isn't in the area and got lucky finding this person and managing to save her. He turns to the girl and says he'll try to create an opening and that she should run to the village. As soon as she agrees, he approaches the bushes and sees in front of him a giant creature that had killed all the wolves. Immediately, his expression changes, and our boy says this is a monster that randomly spawns anywhere in this region known as Jackrex. It's like a mix of a jackal and a Tyrannosaurus, or a Jackalsaurus maybe. Naoki wonders why something like that had to appear right now. He's sure that if this thing detects them, the chance of survival will drop drastically. And obviously, the second he thinks that, the monster turns his eyes toward him. He runs toward the bunny girl to protect her, and the beast swings a claw, but misses. The problem with this mob is that its attacks are completely random. And right at that moment, I saw the beast smack its tail into a rock, which flies toward the two who were trying to escape. The block closes their path, and when Naoki looks back, the monster is about to smack them with its tail again. The attack seems to hit directly, but when the tail lifts up, the King Tanker man was still standing there. With 1 HP, but alive, right, which is what matters. Man, at that moment, he had already used the ability 10,000 times. I thought it was a countdown, like it was going down, but no. That's how many times he's used it. But at that moment, Naoki was sure. No matter how many potions he drank, he wouldn't be able to create enough time and chances to escape from this creature. What makes it even worse is that he has no news about his brother and doesn't even know if he's alive. As a desperate act, he charges forward to punch the boss at the same time the monster comes in to bite him. But man, this is a manhwa. Do you really think he's going to die now? Something has to happen. And his special skill activation triggers. After his HP had dropped to 1/10,000 times, he unlocked the Desperate Soul. Right then, he felt a strange energy running through his body and his hand was glowing golden. The second the boss's tooth touched his fist, the monster was completely evaporated, shattered into a billion pieces. Man, it was One Punch Man style. The entire place was wiped out and started raining blood. He and the bunny girl were left standing there, not really understanding what had just happened. The line of the attack had dubbed the line for a railroad. He's standing there staring at his hand, not understanding what happened, while the bunny girl is asking why he was hiding such an amazing skill. He explains that he has no idea how it activated. Out of nowhere, a window popped up giving him a skill he had never even seen before. He decides to take another look at the system and max out the Desperate Soul skill. When his HP dropped to 1, the skill boosted his attack to 99.99. However, after 3 minutes, it would return to normal. At the same time that it was something really good, it was also something really risky. That's because, right, the HP ability only activates when he has 70% or more. Meaning, if he's at 1 HP and takes a hit from some random little skeleton, he dies instantly. Apparently in this story, everyone can see the system windows, and the bunny girl comments that she's never seen anything like it. And Naoki explains that ever since he started playing the game, he's only ever helped one person level up. That's why, even though he's such a low level, he's already performed so many blocks and dropped to 1 HP so many times. He's confident that with this skill, he can help Hiroki. But it's right at that moment that the bushes in front of them start moving and 3 more wolves approach. I thought it was going to be some sneaky little bunny girl, but it's clear she's just a real airhead, screaming in desperation. At least now, our boy was confident. He's still at 1 HP since he hadn't recovered, and his fist was still activated. Or at least that's what he thought, because when he punches, absolutely nothing happens. At the same moment, he's already running away with her, because if he even got licked, he'd die. While he's running, he says he has no idea why it's not activating. That's when he realizes, right, that it's not that it didn't activate. It's that it's already been 3 minutes since the first activation, and now it's on a 30-minute cooldown. And the worst part is that during this 30 minutes when he can't activate Desperate Soul again, his HP apparently stays stuck at 1. The window doesn't mention anything about that, right? But that's what the protagonist is saying, and I'm going to trust him. The problem is that obviously, running from creatures with 1 HP wasn't going to be easy. When suddenly, the bunny girl breaks free from his arms and runs to the side. He's about to ask what she's doing, but when he looks, she's eating some grass. He tells her to stop with the crazy stuff, but then her mana starts filling up. She touches his chest, uses a clone skill, and duplicates both of them man. The clones dance in front of the wolves and run off in another direction. Ah, clever little things. Now that was some real synergy, huh? At least the story makes sure to create skills that actually make sense and work in the situation. Obviously, the real two are still exhausted lying there. Sometime later in the first village of the game, near the fountain, the bunny girl introduces herself as Izioi Rabiko, a level 13 mage. Kind of weird, right? A bunny girl, but actually a mage. This messed up class. At least our protagonist is simple, right? Naoki, level 8, a tanker. That's sorted out. Nice to meet you. One is thanking the other, while the other is just standing there like a fool, saying that if it weren't for him, she would have died and vice versa. He mentions her restoring mana, and she asks if he's a newbie, not knowing that herbs restore mana. She says it's hilarious that 2 beginners helped each other this way and almost died. But in the middle of this thought, she starts realizing she really almost died for real and begins crying, saying it was terrifying. Naoki pets her head, right, understanding the situation. At any moment, either he or she could really have died there. All because this cursed world stopped being just a game. Genesis Chronicles Online was an MMORPG with over 300 million players around the world. Man, that's more people than a lot of countries have. And obviously, it was famous for its high freedom and immersive world. But suddenly, the game changed, didn't it? The monsters suddenly became savage and started attacking players one after another.